Good afternoon, students. Today's session is for BSc Nursing second year students. The topic is review of anatomy and physiology related to endocrine disorders. This is the image showing the endocrine system of our body. There are various glands which are endocrine glands. These are hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, thyroid, thymus, pancreas, adrenal, testes in the male and the ovaries in the female. So the endocrine system include various glands which secrete the hormones directly into the body fluids or the blood. We will discuss about these glands one by one. This is the image showing the endocrine glands in the brain. These are hypothalamus, pituitary and the pineal. The hypothalamus is located in the lower central part of the brain. At the base of the hypothalamus, pituitary gland is present and pineal gland is present at the roof of the third ventricle from where the CSF flows. So hypothalamus, as I told you earlier, it is located in the lower central part of brain. It regulates appetite, satiety, body's metabolism and the temperature. It also secretes the hormones which either stimulate or suppress the release of hormone in the pituitary gland. For example, in this diagram, hypothalamus is releasing a hormone. The name of the hormone is thyrotropin releasing hormone. And this thyrotropin releasing hormone will further stimulate the pituitary gland to secrete another hormone. In this case, that hormone is TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. So hypothalamus either secretes those hormones which stimulate the secretion of other hormones or suppress the secretion of other hormones. Now pituitary gland, which is also known as hypophysis, it is called the master gland because it regulates the secretions of hormones from other glands, other organs. Then it is attached to the hypothalamus at the base of the brain, and in the pituitary gland we have two pituitaries, anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary. From the anterior pituitary, the hormone which are released are growth hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH, thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, gonadotrophic hormones, these are follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone, and the prolactin. But from the posterior pituitary, only two hormones are secreted. These are antidiuretic hormones and the oxytocin, that is vasopressin. Now the posterior pituitary do not synthesize these hormones, that is oxytocin and the antidiuretic hormone. The posterior pituitary store and release the oxytocin and the ADH which are produced in the hypothalamus. What is the role of oxytocin? During labor, it controls the contraction of the uterus, and during breastfeeding, it is responsible for ejection of the milk. So oxytocin has two functions, controlling the uterine contraction during labor, and second is milk ejection during breastfeeding. Now the antidiuretic hormone and the vasopressin, its function is to control the water loss by kidneys. So it reduces the urine output. Growth hormone, it stimulates the general body growth. It includes bone mass, muscle mass and the fat mass. Thyroid stimulating hormone, it will stimulate thyroid gland to produce the thyroid hormones. Then adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH stimulate adrenal cortex to release the glucocorticoids. Then MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone, this stimulates the production and release of melanin by melanocytes in skin and hair and responsible for skin pigmentation. So from the anterior pituitary, growth hormone TSH, ACTH and MSH are released. FSH and LH, their function is to stimulate the secretion of estrogen, progesterone and the oocytes in the ovaries. They also stimulate the secretion of testosterone and sperm production in the males. Then prolactin, it is responsible for stimulating milk production in the mammary glands. So Oxytocin is responsible for milk ejection, while the prolactin is responsible for milk production. Now, the growth hormone increases during the sleep and it is peak during the adolescence period and it decreases with the age. Thyroid stimulating hormone in the early evening it is lowest and it is highest during the night. Similarly, ACTH is at its peak at 8 am and at midnight it is lowest. Now, pineal gland. It is a small body which is attached to the roof of the third ventricle. It is approximately 10 mm long and reddish brown in color. After puberty, it gets degenerated, atrophied. It has unclear physiological role, but it is that it secretes melatonin, which promote the sleep-wake cycle. This is the image showing the thyroid gland. So it is present in front of the larynx and the trachea. It is butterfly shaped organ. It has two lobes, right and the left. Both of these two lobes are connected by the isthmus. In adults, it is approximately 25 gram and each lobe is 5 cm long, 3 cm wide and 2 cm thick. And the isthmus is 1.25 cm in height and the width. The thyroid gland has two types of cells, follicular and the parafollicular. The follicular cells secrete the T3 and the T4. The T3 is named as triiodothyronine and T4 is named as tetraiodothyronine. The thyroxine is the T4 hormone. The other name of T4 is tetraiodothyronine is thyroxine. It regulates the body metabolism. It is responsible for the bone growth and the development of brain and the spinal cord in children. It maintains normal blood pressure, heart rate, digestion, muscle tone, and also the reproductive functions of the body. Now, as I told you, parafollicular cells are also present. These secrete the calcitonin. And calcitonin causes reduced blood calcium levels. They act on the bone cells and promote the storage of calcium in the bones, and they inhibit the reabsorption of calcium in the kidney tubules. Now, the parathyroid gland, which are present posterior to the thyroid gland. There are 4 parathyroid glands. Each weigh around 50 grams. And in each lobe of thyroid gland, there are 2 parathyroid glands. What is their function? Parathyroid glands secrete the parathyroid hormone and it increases the blood calcium level. The calcitonin will reduce the blood calcium level, but parathyroid hormone increase the blood calcium level. They increase the calcium absorption from the small intestine and reabsorption from the renal tubules. The thymus gland, which is present below the sternum, as you can see, in the child it is of more height and width, but as the person ages, it becomes small in size. In child, it is large. It lies beneath the sternum. It rests on the pericardium. It is made up of 2 lobes which meet in upper midline, and it is stretched from below the thyroid to as low as cartilage of the 4th rib. At birth, it is approximately 4 to 6 cm long, 2.5 to 5 cm wide, and 1 cm thick. And till puberty, it increases in size, then it decreases in size. So in the last image, that person who was adult, it was small, while in the child it was large in size. Now we will discuss about the pancreas gland. It is 12 to 15 cm long. It is J-shaped. It is soft lobulated retroperitoneal organ. It lies transversely on the posterior abdominal wall behind the stomach across the lumbar spine. This is the only gland which is exocrine also and endocrine also. Exocrine because it secretes the trypsin, chymotrypsin, amylase and the lipase. The trypsin and the chymotrypsin is responsible for the protein digestion, amylase responsible for the carbohydrate digestion, and the lipase responsible for the fat digestion. As an endocrine, it secretes the enzymes in the ducts. As an endocrine gland, the pancreas has three types of cells: alpha, beta and the delta cells. Alpha cells secrete the glucagon and this increases the blood glucose level. Beta cells secrete the insulin, this decreases the blood glucose levels, and delta cells secrete the somatostatin, which is responsible for reduction in the secretions of the growth hormone. Somatostatin is also known as growth hormone releasing inhibiting hormone. Now adrenal gland, these are present superior to the kidney and also called suprarenal gland. These lie superior to the kidneys and enclosed within the renal fascia. These are 4 cm long, 3 cm thick. The outer part is called cortex and the inner part is called medulla. Cortex comprises of 80 to 90% of the adrenal gland. Now the adrenal cortex produces 3 hormones: glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids and the androgens. In the glucocorticoids we have cortisol, corticosterone and cortisone. These have anti-inflammatory effects. They will reduce the inflammation of the body. Then in the mineralocorticoids, aldosterone is secreted. It will reabsorb the sodium in the kidney, due to which there will be increase in the blood volume and the blood pressure. Then adrenal medulla, it secretes epinephrine or adrenaline and norepinephrine and the noradrenaline. This will stimulate the sympathetic nervous system of the body, which causes the dilation of the pupil, the heart rate become fast, the lungs, the respiratory rate increases, there will be sweating, the digestion process will become slower, there will be dilation of urinary system. So the sympathetic nervous system will be stimulated by the noradrenaline and the adrenaline. Now the ovaries and the testes. The ovaries are the oval bodies which are located in the female pelvic cavity, and these secrete the hormones estrogen, progesterone, relaxin and the inhibin. Estrogen and progesterone along with the FSH and the LH, they will regulate the female reproductive cycle, they will regulate the oogenesis, they maintain the pregnancy also, they prepare the mammary glands for lactation, they promote the development and the maintenance of female secondary sexual characteristics. While relaxin, this is secreted during pregnancy. It increases the flexibility of symphysis pubis and helps dilate the cervix during labor and delivery. And this will aid the baby's passage by the enlarged birth canal. Now inhibin, as the name is suggesting, it inhibits the secretion of FSH from the anterior pituitary. So the ovaries, as an endocrine gland, they are secreting these hormones. Then the testes, these are also oval glands which are lying in the scrotum. They secrete testosterone and the inhibin. So what is the function of testosterone? The testosterone stimulates the descent of the testes before the birth. They regulate the spermatogenesis, promote the development and maintenance of male secondary sexual characteristics like the beard growth and the deepening of the voice. Then the inhibin. Inhibin, as already told, it inhibits the secretion of follicle stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland. So in today's session, we discussed about the endocrine system, in which we discussed the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, thymus, pancreas, adrenal gland. ovaries and the testes. We reviewed the anatomy and the main function of these glands. Thank you.